Bodycount is an arcade-style first-person shooter that borrows so many different elements that there's almost nothing left that's distinctive about it. Well, it's not entirely true. The most distinctive aspect of Bodycount is how it muddles the features of games it tries to emulate.
Blast imminent. All network personnel are advised to remove themselves from the blast area immediately.
I wouldn't stand too close to the beach right now. There's about to be a fireworks display.
You're a member of the Network, an organization created to solve the world's problems, and you're apparently their sole problem solver. There's not much of a story in Bodycount, but you're apparently being sent to Africa and Asia in an attempt to stop a full-scale war from erupting. This means blowing a lot of things up and mowing down everyone in your path, because it's hard to start wars when there's nobody left to fight them. The story is little more than a series of mission briefings in between levels. You'll also receive voice communication from a female advisor to keep you apprised of your next objective, but your character doesn't speak, so don't expect any witty banter. You also won't learn anything about the organization you're part of, who exactly you're fighting against, or why the network couldn't spend a little more cash on some advanced weapons or gadgets.
He's not carrying much of interest. Search the area.
Created by the same developer behind 2006's Black, which offered explosive Hollywood-style action in a semi-realistic setting, Bodycount seems hammered together with little thought or care. It wouldn't at all be surprising if any of the game's elements were added in the last minute, simply because they're similar to what's available elsewhere. Bodycount is supposed to be a futuristic game, evidenced by the computer panel menu screens, glowing orbs that spew out of fallen enemies, and periodic encounters with an angularly armored faction called the Target. You battle the Target inside their bases, which look like something out of the movie Tron. Yet the weapons you wield, all 2 of them on a given level, are mostly conventional rifles, pistols, and shotguns. Even the outdoor environments are modeled after fairly ordinary locales in Africa and Asia, and the enemies you battle are regular human soldiers, so the futuristic angle seems arbitrary at best. Bodycount's developers took a number of shortcuts in the game's layout, resulting in something that feels slapped together. The single-player campaign, which spans 17 levels, can be completed in under 6 hours and features repeating maps. Co-op isn't supported for the campaign, but is instead limited to 2 players shooting down 20 waves of attackers in a paltry 4 environments. Your other multiplayer options include vanilla deathmatch and team deathmatch modes with an adjustable kill count and time limit, and a choice of only 4 maps. At the time of this review, issues with the matchmaking system means players are languishing in the lobby for long periods of time. Once a game starts, you basically play until you reach the kill count or time, and that's it. There's no character progression, detailed stats, or new options to unlock. Gameplay follows the Call of Duty style of chasing a floating dot toward your objective. Once you reach the destination, you typically have to press a button. Sometimes you'll have to hold a button. Then after scanning, planting, and activating a doodad, you get sent toward another objective, usually back in the direction you just came from. Throughout the single-player campaign, you'll eliminate well over 1,000 soldiers that behave in one of 2 ways, running at you full force or staying in one spot. They aren't too bright either. Soldiers will helpfully shout out that they're reloading while turning their back to you, and have the good sense to fight while standing next to giant fuel drums. The shooting mechanics are a bit strange for a 2011 release. The crosshair target is set low, and you can't use your weapon's iron sights to aim. Holding down the left trigger zooms in the camera, but your gun's sights are distractingly off-center and to the right of the crosshairs. There's no cover system per se other than crouching behind something and peeking out by leaning left or right. This leaning technique occurs whenever you hold the left trigger, which plants your feet and makes you bob and weave like a prize fighter. If you actually want to move while zooming the camera, you have to squeeze the left trigger halfway, otherwise you'll root yourself to the ground like a tree. There's no way to change the button configuration, so expect a few awkward moments while you adjust. The game also includes a skill shot combo system, but the developers apparently have a really loose interpretation of the skill. Shooting someone in the back is apparently skillful, as is throwing a grenade or shooting the big red explosive canisters that enemies seem to gravitate toward. You'll even get credit for a skill shot if you kill someone with your last round of ammo or while you're close to death. The more skill shots you perform on a level, the higher your letter ranking at the end of the stage. Shooting down enemies also has the bizarre effect of causing crackdown-like intel orbs to spill out of their bodies as if they were piñatas. This intel fills a circular meter on the left corner of the screen, which allows you to temporarily activate one of your soldiers' 4 special powers, from explosive bullets to calling in an airstrike to bombard the area.
Network Operatives are advised to clear the blast area.
While the game's selling point is its wanton destruction, don't expect to wreak the same amount of havoc as in games like Mercenaries 2, Red Faction Guerrilla, or Battlefield Bad Company 2. Instead, there's a comical shredding system in place that lets you shoot through sticks of wood, glass, and other brittle surfaces. What you can or cannot destroy is rather subjective. Shooting at certain walls will remove a layer of concrete to expose the framework, but you can't blast your way through a door or a piece of flimsy scrap metal. Bodycount blends together the futuristic and conventional with mixed results. The interior locales from within the target bases have a cold, clean, clinical feel, while the outdoor areas are chaotic and cluttered. From a shanty town and fishing village to an ore mine and train yard, the exterior environments are atmospheric, yet murky, and at times confusing. It's often difficult to make out the opposition, especially when you're being shot at from all directions. The brightly colored orbs seem out of place amidst the rust and rubble, and the developers missed a chance to inject more personality into the game via your partner's voiceovers.
The militia have deployed a comms dish in this area. It could interfere with our communications.
With its shallow multiplayer modes and brief campaign, Bodycount's long-term play value is limited, making it more suitable for renting than purchasing. Had the developers spent more time in fleshing out the game's modes, play mechanics, and options, Bodycount might have been more memorable than your average B-action movie. Sadly, it's not.